On Live It Up, we take pride in telling stories about people that are helping people. With us now are Peter and Lori, and they're doing just that with a company that they call Your Way. Welcome to the show. How are you both?
Great.
Great.
Thanks for being
Good.
Thank you.
So Peter, how did you meet Lori? Let's talk about that. How did this connection happen?
Well, I've been in the nutraceutical industry for many years, and the big thing always coming up is dieting. And really nobody really knows how to diet. And it's a big epidemic in the country. 1/3 of the Americans are obese, and about $150 billion a year is spent on people who are overweight in the medical field. So I was always looking around for something good, and I teamed up with Lori, who has a phenomenal program that she's been doing for a couple of years, and the results are astounding.
Excellent.
So
Yeah, Lori, let's talk about you. Let's talk about your background. You're a nutritionist?
So actually, I've been in the medical field for about 35 years, and
Okay.
I repainted myself once the kids were out of the house. And I completed a degree in exercise physiology. I then got a postmaster's in nutrition, and I also became certified in functional medicine. And so even in the years that I worked as an occupational therapist, I always felt like the older person's life would be greatly enhanced if they just changed what they ate. You know, the mobility issues, the cardiovascular diseases, the strokes, things like that.
And I guess you were seeing that time and time again. People were just ill.
Over and over again. People would try to get up from the couch, and I'd watch on the countertop would be all the cookies and the croissants and things like that. And, you know, there's a connection between what we eat and how we feel.
Absolutely, just wasn't making sense for you.
Right.
Now, there is a huge, I guess, epidemic is the word. People are not healthy.
Absolutely.
They're not healthy, and it's a lot in times because they're just overweight. How do you measure overweightness? Is there like a cue, like for
There's a
your height and
wonderful-
weight? There used to be like a chart of some sort.
There's
Okay.
actually a wonderful technology, and we use a device called the Tanita Scale, and it measures what we call body impedance. It's a body impedance analysis device, and what we do is when somebody stands on the scale, an impulse is sent through the body that bounces off all of the water molecules in the body, and it can then tell what's fat, what's muscle, and what's bone. And we can track that from visit to visit to visit so that we know that somebody's not losing water weight, which is so unhealthy. We know that they're actually literally melting the fat off their body. And we look at those numbers and we compare those numbers every single time they come in.
So, Peter, are you in better shape now since you met Lori? Has she made a difference for you personally?
Oh, yes. It's very hard to go out to eat lunch or do anything without somebody narrating what you're eating and
Okay.
moderating what you're eating. So, yes.
Okay, so it's even you personally. So first you met her, you saw that she was having good results with people, you decided to work with her. You know, what are some of the results? Because I just saw, I'll just be honest, I saw my friend Barry today, who also was doing a segment on the show, and he's like, oh, I started working with Peter and Lori, I've lost 10 pounds in a week. I'm like, you lost 10 pounds in a week?
Right.
You know, so
Right.
so what, I know you can't really talk about the results because everybody's results are going to be different, but typically or
let's
non-typically, what happens?
backstep a little bit.
Okay.
First of all, anytime anyone goes on a diet where you stop eating the processed foods, the junk food, you know, too many starchy carbohydrates, you will lose weight. It's a matter of fact. What we're doing differently is we're customizing it for people.
Oh,
Because
okay.
everybody is different.
So that's why you called it Your Way. It's your
way. Exactly.
Okay.
Plus, you know, you could go on certain diets that are the slow and steady, kind of lose weight, or you can lose the weight quickly, which is what we do. And the medical opinion now is wherever you get the most compliance, do it. So I don't think anybody can't do something for 40 days.
Okay.
And also what's great about that is the number one thing, we've seen a lot of results in the 40 days, but how do you change somebody's habits after the 40 days? And that's where we came up with a concierge program where people are with us for 15 months. We're monitoring them every 2 weeks. We're checking to see what they're eating, make sure they don't yo-yo back up on their diet.
Right, because you really need to see somebody through the cycles of life, because everybody has an emotional connection to food. Food is
I don't mean to
food
laugh.
is self-soothing.
Like, I so can relate.
Right.
I'm like the other night,
Right.
I was exhausted and I'm like, oh wait, I have a piece of cheesecake in the fridge. Went into opened up the, big glass of milk,
Right.
cheesecake. It was like 10:30 at night. I knew that wasn't such a great
Right.
choice, but I emotionally was eating. So that's why I'm
Right.
laughing. I get it.
And so, when, they say you should never marry anybody until you've spent an entire year with them. So think about the ebbs and the flows of the holidays, the family traditions, the stress. And so if we see somebody over the course of the year, we can see their patterns and kind of say, maybe you need to do this kind of an intervention twice a week that balances you out for that entire week. But it's individualized, and we can't really do that if we're not with somebody for a longer period of time.
That makes sense, especially like around Mother's Day or the holidays or something like that. They'll be
Exactly.
like, "What's going on around Mother's Day?" And then the person tells
Right.
you, "Well, I don't really get along with my mom," right?
Right, right.
Funny little things that
Right.
you're customizing and you're understanding.
So I went in the bathroom and I ate 10 cookies.
Right.
And by the way, so if you were on your way
Yes.
and you went to go get that cheesecake, we have a
Yes.
24/7 line, a panic line. You could have called and said, "I want to have that cheesecake. What should I do?"
me off
And
the
they would
edge.
talk you off the
Talk you
ledge.
off the edge.
Close the
Absolutely.
fridge.
We do.
And slowly she closes the fridge. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you very much for being here. How can people find out more about what it is that you're doing and how they can make an appointment to learn what you guys could do for them individually?
Well, they can go on to yourwaydiet.com.
Okay.
Or they can call 844-DIET for free
Great.
and learn how to get their diet.
And there's a lot of incentives too to work with you guys, but I guess we'll just let the website deliver that.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Looking
Thank you.
forward to maybe even getting healthier myself. Okay, we hope you enjoyed this segment all about your way. Thank you for joining us. Live it up.